Hi guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and the Legend of Ashley Fox. Today we're looking at 100 Bullets number 12, but first we have the Six of Swords, the Harpy. Some of you guys are living with harpies. I do feel bad for you, but it's your own damn fault. The harpy eagle is the biggest predator bird in the world, so there's that. But here we go, 100 Bullets number 12. Let's go. Brian Azzarello, Eduardo Risso, Parlez-vous Kung Fu, or just Parlez Kung Fu is what it's supposed to be. Dizzy goes to France is what happens here. If you guys remember, last time we saw Dizzy, Shepard picked her up and put her in the back of his car, or gave her a ride out of the rain, away from where she had just dumped a bag of heroin over her brother Emilio's head. He'd been shot 3 times in the legs by some crooked cops that she then murdered. They deserved it. This is Shepard asking Dizzy if she wants to go to Paris. Half of this issue is in French. I wish I spoke French. I wanted to read Victor Hugo's Les Miserables in French, but I never learned it and read it in English. It was still a good book. Some of this I did understand, some of it I didn't. These guys are having a fight. Again, Eduardo Risso doing some characters in complete silhouette. This is the guy we're supposed to be looking at, Mr. Branch. He looks like Bob Hoskins. You guys may not know this, but Bob Hoskins was the original model for Wolverine. Back before he lost his hair, he had a couple movies where he looked pretty tough. And then he got fat and became Lou Grant. Anyhow, this is great art. I don't want to talk over it. Brilliant, brilliant art. If Tom Waits had a comic book. Yesterday we saw one of these and I didn't know what it was for, Stanley.net. I don't know if the ad was in there or not. I didn't notice it. Obviously that's what it is. This is when Stanley tried to get away from Marvel because it had been taken away from him. Anyhow, this guy gets knocked out. Branch loses his money and hoofs it, beats it. Branch is wearing the Shepard or Constantine trench coat. I suspect that the guy who got burned is Milo, who we saw in the Counterfeit Detective right here. I think that's the guy that Cole Burns and the other Minutemen burned. But we'll find out. I've got almost all of these, so we'll get through them one at a time. Branch is walking off. Offers to buy a couple apples. I don't know if these are bruised apples or not so good apples. The last apples he's got left are bad. Sells a half a loaf of bread and an apple to Branch. Branch doesn't know it yet, but I thought what Branch was looking over his shoulder at was this camel. It's not. He's looking over his shoulder at this person in the shadows stalking him. Also, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Ninth Gate. There's a great fight scene down by the river. I don't think they were in France for that. They may have been. I know that, what's his name is a terrible rapist, the director. Shit, I'm not going to remember it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm spacing on it now. He married that girl from that movie, Emmanuel Singer. Not Polanski. Is it Polanski? I think it is. Why am I spacing on his first name? Doesn't matter. Anyhow, Branch says, hey, come on out. You want to talk? You want an apple? This is Dizzy Cordova. She introduces herself and says Shepard said that they should meet. Branch is like, why is that? You want an apple? Here's where he asks her if she wants an apple. This is great art. I love it. There's not too many words. I like Branch as a character. He's all right. He's an all right guy. They do have a conversation about what could we possibly have in common. Oh, before we get to that, these guys are pissed. Branch apparently didn't pay them everything that was owed. And this guy tells them, well, go get it yourself. Essentially, because this guy shows up later. I will. I imagine he's saying something like that. I don't want to, and look at how the images are framed. Look at how he uses blacks. Eduardo Risso, man. He has mastered the art of blocking. He really, really has. Mes amis, my loves, right? They're out for dinner. She's like, why are you feeding me snails? You want oysters? Are they cooked? No. We should get another bottle. Dizzy's like, you drank it all. I know I'm going through this fast, but it's good. This is a quick scene. This really should have been a TV show. Michelle Rodriguez would have been great. My guess is that a deal could not have been made with Vertigo. Vertigo and Warner Brothers is probably the holdup. Warner Brothers probably didn't want to make the show, and they had the rights to it. They would have been doing the Arrow and Flash and all that other shit. And this didn't fit their, this does not fit the Warner Brothers brand. There is something in the branding world called brand permission. I've been listening to a lot of Alex Hormozi's podcast, The Game. It's the only podcast I'm listening to right now. And he doesn't have that word in his lexicon, but he was talking around it the other day and talking about what brands should and shouldn't do. He's talking about Rihanna X, was it Savage X Fenty, I think is Rihanna's clothing brand. And he was talking about that and about how that they didn't really have brand permission to do other things. I suspect someone wanted to do what they're basically pioneered nude underwear for all the different skin colors. And before that, it had just been white girls. Because civilization is ours. Fuck the rest of you. Get the fuck out. Anyhow, Michelle Rodriguez would have been great in this part. And, you know, a young Lou Grant, a young Bob Hoskins as Mr. Branch. Again, I think Mr. Branch is Bob Hoskins. I think here's the thing about drawing a celebrity. If they've been in enough shows, you can get their face at every angle. Whereas like the guys from TRS, I've met them, but you mostly only get the front of their face. The people that you see on your little, YouTube shows, you don't get them at every angle. You don't get, as an artist, you don't get the full reference material. Whereas like someone who's been around for a long time, not only do you get their face at every angle, you get it at different ages too. I wish I could figure out who they used as the template for Graves. He looks familiar, but I don't recognize him. He's probably some English actor. Anyhow, they're going through this conversation. She's asking him, what could we possibly have in common? And at some point she says the attaché. He's digging into French food. What could we possibly have in common? The attaché. The penny drops. It took 4 or 5 pages. And I love that, I love that you get characters who are not in the story. This is one of the best comics of all time. The Eiffel Tower. He tells her, go on, look down there. What do you see? French people. Lucky French people. Why are they lucky? Because they never had to do what we had to do. They never faced the choice of murdering someone, right? Now, he still hasn't admitted that he hasn't done this. We have seen already, I believe, the next issue, 12 or 13 or 14, one of them, where he explains that he didn't do it. He did not take Shepard up on it. And Shepard told Dizzy in the very beginning here, the first page, that Branch chose not to work for him. And that's why Dizzy should go see him. Now remember, Dizzy took the attaché from Graves, but Shepard is the one that she's dealing with. Shepard still works for the Trust. Graves has gone rogue, I believe is the storyline. Branch didn't do either of it. He did not kill anyone, and he started investigating why they wanted to use him as a pawn, where the attaché, the gun and the bullets came from, and who Graves is working for. So he has answers for Dizzy if she's patient enough to get them out of him. And it's going to take a minute. This sort of thing, you don't just spill your guts to a complete stranger over nothing, unless it's a bad TV show. That's where you get that kind of exposition. In real life, it takes a little bit of work to get someone's deepest, darkest secrets out of them. Or they just spill them all on the page like us authors do. Or novelists, I should say. They're walking through France. I love it. He's such a good artist. If he did all of this, now remember, they didn't have MapQuest back then. And if he did all this on internet reference and, photo books from Borders, the $5 ones that are always in the sale bin, that's impressive. So he gets home with Dizzy. She says that she's got a hotel. He's like, nonsense, stay with me. That's the reason you're here. But at his place, this guy is waiting for him and grabs him by the lapels. You owe me money, Branch. Now, there's a few things that happen right here. Some of this language I recognize, and not because I know French, but because I've watched enough French movies. I recently watched The Day of the Jackal in French, and I think some of it was in French, but Les Samurai with Alain Delon is one of my favorite movies. His wife is in that, Natalie. Oh my God, she's beautiful. That is an incredible film. The soundtrack is great. Everything is great. And I'm sure I heard the word salop in that film or one of the other French films. He gives Branch a toss, reaches down and grabs him again. And Dizzy offers to pay this guy, and he takes the money, but that's not enough. He still wants to give Branch a good kicking. I can respect that. But Dizzy isn't having it. And instead of breaking her knuckles on this guy, she does a Bas-Rutten Pancras palm heel strike to the nose and then gives him the cross. Knocks him out. Parlez Gung Vu. Branch's apartment is a disgusting studio apartment. It's a mess. If you've ever been to a newspaperman's office or a writer's office, my office is spotless. My studio is clean. I hated working for bosses who had shit all over their office. I had no respect for them. My first job out of animation school was for a complete pig. It was disappointing. It never got better. The first job I had there that they hired me for was making the Fight Club DVD release website, and it never got better. That was the top, and everything else was below that. Right after I left, they did the Elektra DVD promotional release or Elektra video on demand release, and they got to film some stuff with Jennifer Garner. Whatever. I don't mind missing that. It was a decent movie. I love Elektra. I love Elektra more than Jennifer Garner. She's all right. She didn't deserve what Ben Affleck did to her. He's a piece of shit. There was one time when we were at the Galaxy, which doesn't exist anymore as a movie theater. We were in there to see something, and they were going to play a Daredevil trailer before the movie. And the line was slow because the box office girl was slow and the Mexican at the door was slow. And Ben Affleck and his friends got in line behind us. And he had just gotten hair plugs. It was really obvious and funny. He looked like a doll. The front of his head looked like a doll's head. And he walked up to try and get past us all just to see the trailer, and the Mexican wouldn't let him in. It was hilarious. He had to go back and get in line. My sister was with us out from Illinois, and she was, she had a little bit of a starstruck moment. She got to see someone famous. It was pretty cool. Anyhow, here we go. Dizzy's in the shower. That's a really nice shot. Branch can't restrain himself and sneaks a peek, and she's not having it. Who wants to see a Mexican girl? Nothing interesting there. She, what the fuck is your problem? And she also told him, I'm not going to sleep in the bed. I'll take the couch. Oh yeah, here's where he says, who said I killed somebody? So he does let her know that she used the gun, but he didn't. So this isn't much of a cliffhanger, If it wasn't such a good comic, this would have been this may have been an ending issue for some of the readers. Again, really good job with the silhouettes. Really good job with the silhouettes. What is this? We keep seeing this. It's like a 3D Superman. There has never been a good Superman. Oh, this is a choose your own adventure. There has never been a good Superman game. The best Superman game I saw was homemade, and it was just video of a demo on YouTube. Anyhow, 100 Bullets number 12. Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and the Legend of Ashley Fox. Amazing science fiction, fantasy, audiobooks, novels, and ebooks for you on Amazon, Smashwords, and right here on YouTube. Today we were looking at 100 Bullets. Is this 12? 12. I think I announced this is 11. This is issue number 12. Dizzy Cordova goes to Paris. She's probably never been out of Illinois before. Besides jail in Chicago, Dizzy hasn't seen a whole lot of the rest of the world. And you know what? The rest of the world doesn't matter. What matters is where you are. Wherever you're standing. That's what matters. And we had the Harpy. Today's conflicted card, the 10 of clubs, says Morgan is on his way home. He's hoofing it. And that he keeps a go bag or a get home bag in his car. A go bag is different from a get home bag, but essentially what it's asking, and then it goes on to say, what do you keep in your to-go bag? Do you have one? Essentially what it's asking for is your EDC, your everyday carry. One of my favorite everyday carry items is this Citizen Solar Watch right here. I love it. I had to take a link out because I have small wrists. Billy the Kid had large wrists and small hands, and so the cuffs would slide off his hands. But what this is good for is just what I'm showing you right now. And I read all the James Bond books. I can't say I read them. I listened to them in my car on an iPod while I had plugged into the speakers a Bluetooth, I think it was my phone, with all the James Bond soundtracks. So I had the soundtracks playing from all the movies on shuffle while I listened to the stories. That was a great experience. And other than a briefcase with some gold coins and a cyanide gas canister in it, I think it had a gas canister, James Bond didn't have a whole lot of tricks. The one trick he did use was he took his Omega Seamaster off of his wrist and used it as a pair of brass knuckles in the scene from On Your Majesty's Secret Service where he's pretending to be a genealogy expert and hanging out with all the supermodels who are being MK Ultra'd. In order to escape, he had to sneak past a guard at the end of his hallway, and he took his watch and wrapped it around his wrist like this and blasted the guy in the head and knocked him out. That was the only trick that James Bond ever really did, and it's a solid trick. It's not one you can train for. If you ever used a pair of brass knuckles, they hurt like a motherfucker. They're going to hurt the other guy more, but you're not going to be happy about it either. Don't use them unless you have to. This is going to hurt your hand. It hurts my hand just doing that. So, but it will work. It'll shatter your watch, but it will fuck up the other guy's face. So that's the first piece of the everyday carry. This, I don't like to use too often, but this is a Ballast Song butterfly knife. These are fun just to play with. They're a great toy. This is a toy. It's like a carambit. Carambit is a better toy. If you've got one with the ring on the end and you loosen the hinge, you can spin it on your hand, on your pinky. You can spin it off your pinky and have it open up. This one takes a little bit more effort. It's a little flashier. It's like nunchucks. This will get you in trouble. I believe these are illegal to sell in the state of California. So you have to buy them over eBay or some other like Blade HQ. I don't think eBay even sells these. They only sell trainer versions. The other thing I've got is an extra clip of ammunition. I've actually got 4 of these. There's another bag around here somewhere. Actually, the extra clips for my 1911 are out in the car. This is an 8-clip magazine. The others are extended. They have actually 10 rounds, an 8-clip. This is an 8-round magazine. The others have 10. They're out in the car. The one I like to keep in the weapon came with it. This is an 8-clip. This is an actual Kimber magazine, not that it matters. Hollow points. I always load with hollow points. You can't use these at the range, but they're good to have when you need them. This is my baby. This goes with me everywhere I go. The smaller guns I've given away. You only need one. If you need more than one, you're doing it wrong. I've got rifles and a shotgun. It's a different tool for a different job, but when you're out and about, this is all you need. This is your go bag. The other thing I like to keep with me are a pair of black leather gloves. These are cheap gloves. I think these were 11 or 15 bucks. They come with a fleece liner inside them, and you have to cut that out. You don't want that in there. Actually, one of the best things about these, FN Fabrique Nationale, they're 5'7". They make a version of that with an extended magazine welt for big gloves, but these fit in here just fine. Always wear gloves when you fire your pistol if you're out and about, if you can get them on in time. Otherwise, they're good for punching people. You don't scratch up your hands, but you also don't get gunpowder residue on this part of your hand. You may still get it on your wrist. It's not always a good thing to have if you get arrested. One of the finest pieces of my everyday carry, which really stays here for you guys, is my Microtech. This is a Microtech Halo. I was first introduced to this knife. I had already come up with the Micronics for my story as a knife, as a black out the front knife, before I came across this. The first time I heard about this was on an episode of 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, where he was pretending to be a limo driver for a financial guy, an investment banker, and that investment banker pulled a silver Microtech Halo, and Jack Bauer had to say to him, "What is an investment banker doing with a Microtech Halo?" He recognized the knife immediately. Of course, the writers knew it, and they wrote that for him. Kiefer Sutherland probably doesn't know a Microtech from a Spyderco. Not that it matters. This is also a nice little piece of gear. This is a Batman bottle opener. It's not sharpened, but it does fit in your hand really nice, and it gives you these two edges out the top and out the bottom. And if you had to, you could throw it, distract someone, hit him in the face. This does not go with me everywhere I go, but it's really nice, and it probably should. It actually fits in the bag I'm about to show you guys. This is a nice little ninja sword. It's a piece of steel. I had to wrap the handle with hockey tape, athletic tape, so it's a little bit bigger. But this is good. This is good. And it fits right in this bag. Let me show you guys. It has a nice little button on it. It's got this protruding bit right down here by the handle so that you can snap over it. Maybe it doesn't even fucking fit. I have to do it this way. That's not right either. Hold on a second. That's not right. Yeah, there we go. Much better. This fits. I love these chrome bags. Chrome makes these messenger bags with seatbelt straps. And you can choose your colors. I guess they call that colorways in the shoe industry. This one fits right in here. I like to keep the 1911 in here, but I suppose I will start carrying this little mini sword in there as well with my extra clip and my watch. The machete is not something you need, but you can get away with having this in your car in Southern California. I also prefer my blades to be black for lots of reasons. You could say it's because of Stormbringer, but that's not really true. It's just better. Black is better. This one hangs on the door here, doesn't leave the house. Someday I might have to, though. Someday I might have to. Finally, well, not finally, we still have a few more things to look at. We have this chrome bag. This is my favorite. This is a big old messenger bag. Throw it over your shoulder, wear it crossbody style. The little one fits too, crossbody. Look at all the space you've got in here. And you can choose the colors. You could have black and white, red and black and white, whatever you want. It's got this zip pocket. It's got another pocket in the front, another pocket behind the zip pocket. I hope all this is on camera. I think I'm probably showing a lot of this off camera. This is a great bag. This is a heavy duty canvas bag. You'll never go wrong. Chrome Industries, CHROME. Go ahead and look it up. This is a Fairbairn Sykes World War I, World War II trench knife. This is from the English Army. It's very nice. Very, very nice. I like the handle. I like the slim stiletto style handle. I don't have the biggest hands in the world. This works for me. Man's got to know his limitations. Also, another out the front. This is based on the Microtech Troodon. It's a double-sided blade. It's non-serrated. They offer a lot that are serrated. Serrated knives are great for getting through car straps if you're locked into the car. They're not so good for bodies. They hang on clothes. A well-oiled, non-serrated knife is what you want for stabbing. When you stab someone, you want to aim for just below the breastplate, the breastbone, and go across that middle separation between the muscles. That's where the vena cava arteries are. You will kill a guy in 30 seconds. He will bleed out from that. Other than that, skateboards, you know. Oh, here we go. We've got these two. Ah, this one is supposed to be in the other sheath. This handle is wrapped a little bit different. I'll show you how I know in a second. These two are identical. This one and this one are the same size, but this one, see how this is wrapped? That's how I know. It came as a pair, a long sword and a shorter sword. This is a wakizashi and a kodachi. Kodachi is a traditional size. Wakizashi is based on the size of the person. Obviously the katana, that's the big katana. The other katana's in my room. That's the shirasaya. But these dual swords are very nice. It's great to fight with them against your forearms if you don't really want to fight. If you have to fight like this, or like, you know, the Musashi style, one and then the other. This is all good stuff. This is all good stuff. If you don't have it, you can't train with it. If you don't have it, you can't use it. So, what do you carry? What do you carry in your bag? This is it. This is all you need. This is your get home safely item. I've got some water in the car, but really everything else you can get from a 7-Eleven. And even if you don't have money, you can get everything you need with this from a 7-Eleven. There's no 7-Eleven clerk who's going to fight you over a bottle of water or some Gatorade. Not these days. And you can pay them anyhow. Also, I love this. I do have the big 300 shield. It's not bulletproof. It won't do you any good. It's nice and heavy. It's the only place that's going to do you any good is in a riot. And then the ballistic shields are much better, the ones you can get from the police. So, I don't know. What else have I got in easy reach? Fuck. I hate dropping that. The neighbors gotta hate me. I'm sure they're pissed. I've got downstairs neighbors. They're not happy about this. This rattan stick is great to train with. Kali Eskrima. Really good to practice. But, yeah, I suppose that's it for today. I do love this shirasaya because it doesn't have an edge. And anyone standing in front of you is going to think that this is razor sharp. And you can blast them with it and not worry about killing them. So that's a good thing. But you're not going to have that with you just out and about. Oh, I've got something right in front of the camera. And if I grab it, the whole camera's going to shake. Let me see if I can do this. This is a great piece of equipment to have in your car. This is a leverage bar. It's really a chisel, but you can open anything in the world with this. There's no, unless it's got a barrier bar at the bottom of a door, you can get through any lock in the world with this, and a hammer. Also, I have a ball peen hammer, not a ball peen hammer, but a small carpenter's hammer and a large screwdriver in my car. Those are great items to have. So I think that's it for today. Yeah, that's pretty good. See you guys tomorrow.